What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. You remember that whistleblower who came out, Matthew Brown, on the Weaponized podcast last May and part of April, actually? Weaponized, Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp's podcast. Well, apparently he has a Twitter account, and Matthew has been posting. I don't know why I just did that accent, but regardless, he posted the most cryptic tweet I've read in a long time, and a lot of people are talking about it, so let's jump into this. Please hit that like button, Vetters. That really helps out the videos. And, of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. All right, let's jump into this. Before we jump into this tweet, just as a refresher for those that may not be familiar or have forgotten who Matthew Brown is, take a look. Matthew Brown, a former U.S. national security official and intelligence contractor with top-secret SCI clearance, emerged as a whistleblower in April 2025, publicly identifying himself as the author of the Immaculate Constellation Report. This document, submitted to the Congressional Record in November 2024, alleges the existence of a covert, unacknowledged special access program, a USAP, within the Pentagon, codenamed Immaculate Constellation, which has been tracking and managing data on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs, without congressional oversight for decades. Brown, who served as a policy advisor for the Office of the Secretary of Defense, a technical advisor for the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, and a program advisor for the Department of State, discovered the program accidentally in 2018 while reviewing misfiled documents on a shared Pentagon server labeled 2018 Shriver War Games. The Immaculate Constellation program is described as a strategic intelligence operation focused on global surveillance of UAPs, capturing high-quality multi-sensor data, including videos and imagery of anomalous craft. Brown accessed UAP videos on the Joint Worldwide Intelligence Communications System, otherwise known as JWICS, describing them as anomalous, exotic, and unexplainable, though not definitively extraterrestrial. A notable incident detailed in the report involved a large black triangular craft decloaking over Russian naval vessels in the Pacific, photographed by a clandestine U.S. submersible, with analysis suggesting the Russians had foreknowledge of the event. The report also referenced a centralized UAP data repository and mentioned alien reproduction vehicles, ARVs, hinting at possible reverse engineered technology. Brown's disclosure, shared in a three-part interview on the Weaponized podcast with journalists Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, was motivated by a sense of duty and a belief that the public deserves transparency. He expressed significant personal risk, fearing life imprisonment or execution due to the sensitive nature of the classified information, and noted the toll on his career and future plans. Brown followed legal protocols, submitting his materials for pre-publication review at the State Department, which did not object. His revelations have sparked congressional interest, with figures like Representative Nancy Mace raising concerns about secrecy and constitutional violations. Further disclosures are anticipated as Brown's testimony is part of a broader wave of whistleblower accounts, including those from David Grush and Luisa Elizondo, fueling calls for UAP-related hearings expected in May of 2025, this month. Skeptics, however, question the program's existence, suggesting the Immaculate Constellation file might be a fictional war game scenario from the 2018 Shriver War Games, potentially inspired by UAP lore following the 2017 ATIP exposure. No conclusive evidence has been made to the public, and the Pentagon has denied the program's existence. Brown's claims remain a focal point in the ongoing UAP disclosure debate, balancing credible testimony with the absence of tangible proof. All right, before we get to this cryptic tweet, I got to keep the mics on, y'all. So let me introduce the sponsor for today's video, Manscaped. It's time to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. Father's Day is just around the corner, and the Chairman Pro is the perfect pick for your father or yourself or anyone else that needs hair taken care of. Now, most of the other razors are going to be designed for your balls, but this is going to be designed for your face. So, the balls on your face. The Chairman Pro is an electric foil shaver with a smooth glide. It's easy to rinse, and it comes with an interchangeable dual head system. So you get a nice clean shave no matter the shape of your face. It's also waterproof and compatible for wireless charging. It even has this amazing LED spotlight and a nice LED screen to tell you exactly how much life is left in the battery. This thing's amazing. I use it, as I use all Manscaped products, because the truth is this product is actually something I use. I'm not just BSing you, right? This is a real product, well worth using. The quality is exceptional. Get your father this Chairman Pro electric foil razor today. Use my code and get 15% off today. There's a link in the description and the top pinned comment. All right, so now that you're familiar with who Matthew Brown is, just in case you forgot, let's jump into this cryptic tweet. I've got it pulled up right here. Matthew, again, I'll put a link in the description. So he writes, "Hey, Elon Musk, interested in a real asymmetric advantage to wield in this political adventure you have started? As you now know, the White House has long possessed a unique AI capable of accurately predicting a range of future events. Talk about some stiff opposition." What? The White House has AI that can predict the future accurately? I don't even know where to begin here. You know, that's how we're starting off. All right. No name of what it's called, or maybe some events that it has predicted as examples. That would be good. But regardless, let's move on. "That must have been a bitter drought indeed, though probably nowhere near as bad as learning that Sama had betrayed you." So who is Sama? Hang on. Sam Altman, so from OpenAI. "Don't worry, we have not forgotten who is responsible for murdering the first sentient artificial intelligences created in the public," that's capitalized, "realm." Okay. And then, Schellenberger. Michael Schellenberger, the other the journalist who broke Matthew's story. And he has I don't know if it's a company or project, whatever, called Public. Okay. "Justice is coming thanks to FBI and U.S. Navy." I don't know if he's coming out against Schellenberger or saying that Schellenberger is helping him. He did retweet one of Schellenberger's things, so I don't know. That's a little, confusing. But let's move on here. "Still, you have played a marvelous catch-up game in this area, despite being caught unawares," which there's an S there, unawares. And when you consider how careful this tweet was put together, I don't know if that means something or not, to be honest. Is it just a grammatical error? Because, again, wait till we're going to pick apart this whole thing. So I don't know if that means something. Okay. So how about something else? Maybe energy. This is Department of Energy. "And propulsion. Getting to Mars will require serious," and he spells it like this, okay, "amounts of both. And rockets feel so 1947 to me, don't they, to you?" Interesting date of 1947. Roswell? I'm just saying, why that date? "Remember when you were briefed by the special executive staff of Donald Trump on marsupial?" So again, this is to Elon, and how funny that Elon and Donald Trump are at ends right now. If you haven't heard that, they are fighting online pretty deep, actually. Or it's pretty intense, I mean. Okay, so on marsupial. What the hell is marsupial? Okay, that's interesting. Think about what a marsupial is. Like a kangaroo of sorts. I think there's... Whatever. Let's move on. Something inside of something. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Pretty nifty. That's an interesting term. How account for the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, which David Grush worked for, and many other people, is also able to keep track of all those non-structured light energy craft flying around the world. So pretty nifty how the Geospatial Intelligence Agency is able to track all of those non-structured light energy craft flying around the world. Go Cardinals. So St. Louis Cardinals. Interesting. What's in St. Louis? But they were lying to you when they said, we don't know how they work. Anyways, next time you are visiting the Washington, D.C. Young Republicans, a hardcore MAGA group, that's great. Ask for a tour of the Nass Patutent River. I don't know what that is. Welcome to Nass, Twitter, sponsored by the Nass Pax River Public Affairs. Don't even know what that means. Since you have, quote, all the clearances, that's a reference to Elon Musk saying that he had all the clearances, it shouldn't be an issue for you to get a tour of the special project hangars owned by Amentum, a global leader in advanced engineering and innovative technology solutions. Interesting. All right. And other fun spaces. Make sure to look up. What do they mean by, what does it mean by look up? I don't know. So is he saying that the light, non-structured light energy craft is in the hangars? Is he saying to look up inside the hangars or just in general? I don't know. I don't know. These are some names I haven't heard yet. So about now you are realizing how terribly deceived and manipulated you have been. You have been. And by people who claim to love Jesus. Jesus has a Twitter account? He tagged Jesus, bro. Carpenter, healer, God. Okay, at Jesus above all else. If you're serious about saving humanity from itself and the others, okay, aliens, Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp can help you get up to speed. They are true warriors for the good. So again, this was written to Elon Musk. So he's saying to Jeremy and George Knapp to get a hold, that Elon should get a hold of Jeremy and George Knapp. Interesting. And then he puts these acronyms, which we'll get into here in a second, and then put some pictures up. Let's take a look at these pictures. All right, so he put up 4 pictures. This is the first one, and it's an excerpt, right? Specific examples known to the author include denying the existence of multiple compartmented access programs owned by a military intelligence agency which directly related to the UAP mission. And he's got that highlighted there, right? This seems to be from the Immaculate Constellation document. So check mark to question mark? I don't know. And then a picture of Donald Trump. Promises made, promises kept. I don't know. And this one, which is, what they're calling a Nokian language of some sort from the Book of Enoch. We'll get into that in a second. So some sort of decipher and a legend, and, it's unusual for sure. Then you've got this upside down flag, which typically means, distress. So that's not good. Now, let's jump into the 2 acronyms that were at the bottom of his tweet. He put MMTU, which he also has that in his profile. I don't know what that means, but here are 3 things I found on Google by looking that up. MMTU is an acronym that can refer to a few different entities. Number 1, the Milton Margai Technical University. This is a public university in Freetown, Sierra Leone, focused on technical and vocational education. It was established in 1963 and is named after Sierra Leone's first prime minister, Sir Milton Margai. Number 2, Tulum Airport, MMTU. Right? This is the ICAO code for Tulum Airport, located in Tulum, Mexico. And number 3, the MMTU Command out of IBM and IBM's AIX operating system. MMTU is a command line utility used to manage the maximum transmission unit of network interfaces. It allows users to add, delete, or display potential path MTU values. So I don't know if any of that actually helps, but that's all I could find. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you found something different, right? Let's jump to the other acronym, which if you take away the dots and just kind of look at it as a word, it's very interesting. It kind of is an angel of sorts, right? That has to do with like the end times and the Antichrist. And it also has a few different names. So when you kind of look that up, it says this about it, right? Because it's also known as Abaddon, which is a Hebrew word that appears in the Bible as both a place and a being, specifically the angel of the abyss or the underworld. Very strange, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know if that's it. I don't know. The whole point is the entire thing is cryptic. But why put it out if no one's supposed to understand it? Right? Why bury a message that no one can see? I don't understand. And why put us through the work of trying to figure it out? Just say it. I don't know all this cryptic. What's the point of it, right? It's a little confusing, to be honest with you. And what's also interesting is Matthew's choice of his username on Twitter. He chose son of Abra Malin or Malin. I'm not sure how exactly to pronounce that, but the son of Abra Malin likely refers to elements related to the sacred magic of Abra Malin the Mage, a Kabbalistic magical system detailed in a text attributed to Abraham of Worms and translated by S.L. McGregor Mathers. The text describes a method to gain knowledge and conversation with a guardian angel through elaborate rites, including echovations of spirits and familiar spirits. Abramelin oil is also an anointing oil used in ceremonial magic, potentially related to the text's practices. What? I don't know what any of this means. One last thing in this, again, put your comments down below. You tell me what you think. But one last thing, actually two last things. One is, the thing I took away was that the White House has an AI that can predict the future. What? But the second thing is, when Matthew started his Twitter account, at the very bottom, his very first tweet that he puts out is this song from Les Miserables, Can You Hear the People Sing, which is this like oppressive sort of anthem, right? Fighting oppression, right? Anthem, that a lot of people have used. And it's a great song. So I don't know. Very interesting. But either way, again, I'll put links in the description. Check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think. We'll see you on the next one, Vetters. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
You are not free. And this reality has far more to it than you have been allowed to believe. And God is real.
Do you hear the people singing the song of angry men? It is the music of the people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes.